Morning. So I'm not going to say it, because if you've been watching the channel, you know the last 2 days I've said happy first day of harvest, and well, that hasn't worked out yet. But we'll see. That's the plan, though, is to harvest some corn. We actually want to run some corn for a few days. We got about 100 and some acres of corn that's really ready to go. Probably about 300 acres of corn. Want to run some corn for a few days and then switch to beans, because we also have beans coming, and wheat planting is about 10 to 15 days out. Oh yeah, got us an ice maker. If you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, even if you don't, you should. Brian's Farm Videos. Asked opinions on an ice maker, bought a cheapo off Amazon. Works like a charm. First fuel up of the year. Heck yeah. So this thing is going to get hooked up to our inline ripper. Once we get harvest going, I'd like to do a little bit of ripping in the mornings for an hour or two every day. See how that goes for at least a few days. The inline ripper is a very valuable tool, but it's a slow process, and I don't think we use it near enough. So I'd like to at least do where we load trucks and stuff like that. Definitely a lot of compaction in those zones of the field. So there's one fitting that we haven't hit yet on the combine. It's one of the ones that's a real pain in the butt. It is in the grain tank, which is never a fun place to be. Usually it's very dusty and dirty in here. Not my favorite place to go in the morning. But it definitely needs looked at. So there's a U-joint in the bottom of this auger we gotta grease. Never been in a grain tank of a combine. There's just a lot of angles. No good way to stand. Definitely not comfortable. But that's so the grain doesn't get all hung up in here. There's our fitting. Pulled up and caught Dad red-handed. What you got there? Huh? What you got there? It looks like you're preparing for winter.
Yeah, I'm preparing. Finger all that vegetable done.
A little bit of tractor snacks. I think he's ready. His batteries are almost here. Just remembered we haven't put grease in these bearings yet, so do that while we're waiting on them. Kind of quick and easy, not too hard. I'm very creative at ways to mess up a job. I don't even know if I can mess this one up.
What you doing there, feller?
I don't know what got into him. He seems cheery. It's very unnatural. So bearings are greased. We're going to go ahead and start taking some trucks to the field. Guy bringing the batteries for the tractor. Should be here soon. If you missed yesterday, we tried to start corn harvest, got everything ready to go. Went to get the grain cart, and the batteries were dead. Found out we had a couple bad cells in some batteries. And the batteries in the Fendt tractors they're special. And there was none around. And our dealer only had one. We needed two. So they're getting batteries from a different location in northern Ohio. Should be starting here as soon as we get those batteries. There's the batteries. So in typical Brown Farms fashion, I'm pulled into this field and we're right beside a 4-lane highway. That way, when we screw up, everyone can see, and in about a month, if we ever get any rain, everybody will be able to see all of the volunteer corn we'll have, where we don't have the combine set yet. So that's just how we roll. Like to let everyone see. Place looks real nice. So in this lane, this is our side. That is not, until we get up here past this corner. That's not our corn there. This side is. So the neighbor here actually has 15-inch corn instead of 30. Not a lot of guys in this area doing that, but there's been a few dabble in it. He's definitely stayed with it the longest. But one of our neighbors that we farm a lot beside, they farm 20-inch rows, but predominantly most of the row spacing in this area of the world is 30-inch, definitely the most common. So the rest of this lane is all ours, and it cuts in between two roads. It's a private lane, it's not a public lane, but people always cut through here without permission. It'll be interesting to see if before we get here to harvest, if someone goes through our corn. You wouldn't think someone would do that, but it happens pretty often.
Items.
So here's our batteries we had to replace. Got 2 new ones. Hopefully that makes a difference. Hey, do you have a pacemaker?
That's not a good spot, I don't think.
What happened, Bubby?
Park a grain cart right where my head was walking.
Hey! Well, now we don't have an excuse, Dad. We're going to start harvesting. To the field we go. About to roll out. Someone will take the side-by-side down there. That way we can get around the field and whatnot. So I'm sure we'll be stopping and going and making sure everything's working right. Shelling. A lot going on in that cab right now. Trying to tell him he's got a lot of butt shelling, but he's looking at a lot of stuff set and everything, so this first row is just going to have a lot of chatter. He finally seen me. Corn, a lot of corn on the ground. Now that's where the combine hasn't ran. Like this cleaning system, that's all off the head. I'm sure this is very dry corn, but getting a lot of shatter, a lot of butt shelling. Yeah. He also had this bag around his snout. Hey everybody, today's video is sponsored by Poncho. So imagine a shirt that you can wear to work, but then also looks nice enough that you can go out for a nice dinner with your wife. Our anniversary was just like last week, and wore this Poncho shirt to work in the week before that. And you know, I think these are pretty snazzy looking shirts, if I do say so myself. Wore it to the steakhouse and didn't feel out of place at all. So these shirts, I don't know what the fabric they're made of is here. I've got one right here. It is like a really lightweight material, and then they've got a vented back, but it's not like some shirts that have a vented back. They're really noticeable, I guess. And these shirts got a vented back, but it's not very noticeable. I like that. It looks more professional maybe, or more subtle, but very effective in the summertime. It's very hot and humid here in Ohio right now, and these shirts are extremely cool in that kind of temperature. Plus, they've got the pearl snaps. I'm a sucker for the pearl snaps. Now, they do have other styles. If pearl snaps isn't your thing. One other cool thing about the Poncho shirts, they have the 2 button pockets. This one also has a zip pocket like that, place to hold a pin right here. And then also, they've got a thing for your sunglasses. Really like these shirts. Probably my favorite button-up shirts that I own at the moment. Yes, this is a sponsored video, but I had 6 Poncho shirts before Poncho ever reached out. So when they asked if I would be interested in becoming a partner, absolutely. I was already using their product, already liked their product, and yeah, big fan of them. So if you'd like to try a Poncho shirt, you get free shipping and free returns. So if you're worried about the size, you can try it on. And if it does not fit, send it back, get you the right size. So if you've been looking for the perfect shirt, something breathable, that fits great, feels even better, and stands out in a good way, go to ponchooutdoors.com/BFV for $10 off your order. That's ponchooutdoors.com/BFV for $10 off and free shipping. Go try one out. Like I say, I mean, you get a really good guarantee there, and these shirts are awesome. So give them a try. Oh, it's getting back in. want to get out and look around to see what we find. One way we can really tell if we're losing grain out of the cleaning system, how much corn we've got on the road. And I do see some. I don't see a lot, but if we're seeing some real easily, there's probably more we're not seeing. You can also go over here into the neighboring row, see if we're throwing corn over there. A little bit of corn. It's like you're shooting a little bit out. There's corn over here. Also tell if you see corn on top of leaves, that would mean it came out of the back of that combine and not off the head. Got a little bit in the neighbor rows. It's like a mixture of what you play in at the beach or the playground and a little bit of topsoil. So if you're not familiar with the weather patterns in southern Ohio, it's pushing 90 today, and we've had Jesus. Is that your fridge? Can't even fit in here. Eat more Cracker meals. My feet have nothing to do with the meals I eat. They need to be on a diet too. Anyways, we've had, I think, 7/10 of rain since July 30th. All that's been in September. None of it happened in August, and well, it's not been great for finishing off the crop.
I think my are at work. Let's go.
Juice box guy, calm down. I don't think it's working, Bubby. You gotta be kidding me. So, corn is yielding pretty good right now, which was what we kind of expected. The way that this drought has hit us, we are considered in a drought now, according to the Weather Service. The way it hit, though, our corn was putting on about 10% of what it could have been. We were basically just putting on test weight with most of the corn when this drought hit. Our beans, on the other hand, are going to suffer tremendously. Well, I'm saying all that to say our corn's pretty good still. Like, we're still going to have above average corn this year. We're going to have below average beans, it is looking like, after hearing some neighboring numbers. But this is the first load, and I'm going to take this down to a gravel pit down the road and run it across their scales just to confirm that our grain cart scales are accurate. Now, I hauled a load of corn to Cargill 3 days ago in this truck, and it hasn't ran since. Roughly the same fuel, so we're going to be close enough there to have a weight of what the truck is, and then we can compare that with what we have on, and we can find out if we're accurate, because right now this field's running in the low twos, like 210 to 220, which for this ground with this weather I'm very happy with. This is very sandy stuff, so that would be, kind of makes you wonder what would have been. This probably would have been 250 bushel corn if we wouldn't turn dry at the end. Ah, no! I left the windows down. It's snowing bees wings. That's a good sign. He's already waiting on the grain cart. This is Shelly Sands. I actually had a subscriber or a viewer one time tell me that I needed to quit pretending and lying and come clean about my multi-million-dollar gravel pit. Well, the people that own the land that this gravel pit's on's last name's Brown. I don't know if you're familiar or not, though. Brown's a pretty common last name, and I'm of no relation to them. But anyways, the lady that runs the scale house has told me before, anytime I need to take a weight on something, no problem. So here we are. That's what we're gonna do. It looks like the scales on the combine or on the grain cart, 100 pounds off. I would call that more than good on 60,000 pounds of grain. That's well within 1%. If you can keep it within 1%, I feel like you're doing pretty good. Looks like we're about to get a custom two-tone yellow paint job courtesy of the county. All right, first load. Let's see what happens. Go check our consigner and make sure it's going the right way. Okay, the leg is going to the right grain bins. That's good. Curious to get a moisture sample. We were making this 20%. This is 112-day corn planted like May 24th or April 24th. So 20% wouldn't be super crazy, I don't think. We're just gonna run real slow until we can make sure everything's working. I'll make sure grain is coming into this bin. That's good. The one thing we do every load, we always get a moisture sample and chart the load. So the grain cart is recording every truckload, and then BJ is basically getting a printout of that sent to his computer. And then he will come in here and grab this clipboard and get the test weight and the moisture and compare that with his data, and then we have a very accurate number of how many bushels and where they're at on our farm. So that's how we do this. And in the spirit of harvest and everything, this is not working now, so that's good. Frickin' moisture tester's not even going to work today. What kind of yield are you showing, Dad?
25 to 26.
25 to 26, not bad. Well, he looks like he has about 1,600 bushel.
Well, we got fine. Got started. Travis just left. Got set pretty good. Everything working good. The automated stuff, we're trying to get it figured out. They're going to put some new software in it, I guess, to help it. So it does work. We got a little bit of cob, a little more than I'd like, but I think the variety's kind of soft. So I don't know if it's going to get any better or not. But anyway, we got, we done 27, 3,000 bushel. Pretty good corn. About 21%, Brian said, 19, 20, 20.
Well, it only took 10 acres. Yeah, 15 maybe. That's a combine man there.
We get corn through there, it's a little greener, heavier ground. People wonder about this performance kit we put on. If, some people can watch the channel. They put a kit on this supposed to help the airflow get more up from the sides instead of all underneath. And whether it's helpful, I don't know. I'm cruise riding along here. I've got up to 5,000 bushel, no problem. Get this good corn. So I don't know. Too early to tell, but it seems like it's pretty good so far. I don't know if that's made a difference yet, but we get as the year goes on, we'll know more about it.
So now BJ had to leave, so I'm running the cart and doing the trucking. Dad's still combining at 5,500 bushels an hour or some crap like that. So I will not be able to keep up. We will go bonkers for a few minutes and then wait on trucks. Right now we've got 2 trucks. One's about to be loaded, so we'll have a truck in the cart, and then we'll have to take a little pause. I don't know how many acres we're going to do tonight. It sucks that we got started on Friday. This is Friday the 19th of September. My brother's son is a senior. He's playing high school football. Well, he's actually injured, broke his collarbone. But anyways, before that, BJ volunteered to drive the equipment truck to all the away games. And today, they just happened to have the furthest away game in the conference. So BJ had to bounce out of here a few hours earlier than normal. Well, the first field's done, 30 acres down. Trying to get a load or two off this other field. That's probably gonna be it because, well, the combine's out of fuel. It's about 6 o'clock now. A lot slower going with just the two of us now. So we're gonna load the cart and then that's gonna be it for the day, I do believe. So one nice thing, we'll have plenty of corn to get the dryer going. We'll have, I think by the time we dump all this, we'll have 8,000 or 9,000 bushels in the wet bin, which is plenty to make sure we got our dryer going and everything. That's probably what we're gonna do first thing tomorrow, and then hopefully once we get it going, everything's gonna run just fine and we can come knock out some more corn acres. I don't know that we're gonna come back to this farm. We've got another farm that has a little bit earlier day corn. This is 112 day seed consultants. I think it's 1112 or 1122 seed consultants. I think it's 112 day corn. We got 104 day corn just down the road on some gravelly ground that I predict is much drier than this. So we might go check that out.
Yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Got that field done, 26 acres. Got 1,000 bushels off this field, part of the inroads. 73 acres here. We're gonna quit. Go way down there to the other farm. I think it'll be drier. So, gotta put the reel down so we can fold it up. Hit the button over here. Start folding. Okay, think we got her folded up. Here we go. Bring my ladder around. Power ladder. I get it fold up here. I think I hit the right button. There it goes. Okay, here we go down the road. Let's stick here. Well, you don't want to move very much. Just a little bit's all it takes. Going down this fast. It'll run like 22 or 24, 25 miles an hour.
We are moving everything over to the old grain bins to that farm because the corn that we're going to run tomorrow is, well, right behind me. She thick. Get our fans running. So we've got 20% corn on the floor of that bin. Definitely need to be cooling it. That corn was coming into the grain bins at 93 degrees according to our tester. So in order to keep that corn from spoiling, you want to get it cold and keep it cold. Now, one thing about it, as warm as it is, we will dry some of that corn a little bit just with those fans. Right now, there's probably 5,000 or 6,000 bushels on the floor of that bin. Now, we're going to start the dryer up tomorrow. That's kind of the plan for tomorrow. When we do that, we're going to pull the center of that bin down. So we'll get a good bit of wet corn out of there when we do that. And hopefully we can kind of dry out the cone that leaves just with the fan. Enough to keep it anyways. Well, folks, that's it for day one. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. So if you want to make sure you catch up on all the episodes of Farming with the Browns this fall, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get a notification. I want to do my very best to have you a video every day. Usually I'll miss a few every now and again, but any day that we're working, there will be a video filmed, and during harvest, it's pretty much every day. So buckle up, it's going to be a long ride. It should be fun. I feel like the corn's going to be a lot funner to harvest this year than last year. The beans we'll find out together. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Do me a favor, don't forget to like the video.